Did you know that more than 40% of adults are deficient in vitamin D, and even higher numbers in women over 40? Vitamin D isn't just about strong bones. It's linked to mood, metabolism, immune health, and even midlife weight management. And here's the kicker. Just because you live in a sunny place or spend time outdoors doesn't mean you're off the hook. Today, we're diving into why vitamin D is so important, why deficiency is so common, and what you can do about it. You know what? I finally want to dive deep into vitamin D because so many people say, oh, vitamin D. Oh, I get the sunlight, But no one ever really talks about what specifically it means and what they need and what it does and all of that. You know what I mean? It's like a buzzword.
Yeah, I know. It gets thrown around, gets tossed around. And even I've said it, like I get plenty of vitamin D because I'm in the sun a lot.
Yeah.
But it's more than that.
It is more than that.
Has a very, it serves its purpose.
It does.
And we need it.
Yeah, we do. And so in today's episode, what I want you to get out of it is like what it actually means if you're deficient, what you can do about it, all that stuff. But of course, before we get too far into it, make sure you guys subscribe to our channel here on YouTube and like, comment, engage with us. We love to engage with all of you guys. And follow us on Candidly_with coffee on Instagram. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods. We've recently been charting on Good Pods, which is pretty cool, in the top 100 fitness podcasts. And so we're excited about that.
And ask questions. We love to answer them.
Yeah, we're always engaging with you guys in the comments too. So ask questions. If you want to share maybe some information that you have on vitamin D, please do so in the comments. We are back in the Bay Area here to give you guys a good show. If you guys don't know, we recently moved to Orange County. It's been fun.
You're back in your neighborhood of San Jose.
And we're back. But you guys, Orange County, I feel like if you didn't know, if you don't know OC Janine, then you don't know Janine, because I've come out of my shell over there. I'm Miss Outdoorsy, Miss Adventure.
Pool Janine.
Pool.
You're at the pool a lot?
Yeah.
With the beach a lot, stuff we didn't do?
Yeah, stuff that we just never did before. So never say never.
You even got a bike now? It's a shocker.
Speaking of bike, you guys, I wanted to announce a partnership that we have with Murph e-bikes. Did you guys know that you can actually get a beach cruiser that has a motor on it? It's a motor?
Yes.
It's considered a motor? Electric motor.
Electric.
It's like my dream come true. And not that I don't want the exercise, because I want the exercise, but if you encounter hills and whatnot and you don't have a motor, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it'll tax you for sure.
Yeah, so we actually recently, got e-bikes, and we're partnered with a company called Murph, and you can actually get your own e-bike and use our code Escobar10 for 10% off. They are so cool. Mine actually looks like a traditional beach cruiser with a basket. I even painted my nails to match my e-bike because it's beach peach.
Bougie.
That's the color we're calling it, beach peach. Well, actually, Murph called it beach peach. So I decided to get matching nails.
But I thought about something like you could save a lot of money having an e-bike. The reason is I'm from San Francisco. I would not have a car there. The parking is horrendous. You get a lot of tickets. You got to spend on gas, insurance, car payments. E-bike, you pretty much could roll around the whole city. And like you said, you have the extra motor. So if you're tired, you can use electric motor to help you.
Yeah, and in fact, if you completely just don't want to pedal at all, you can just throw on the throttle if you get a level 3 bike.
Yeah.
And it goes up to 28 miles an hour. I think it's hacking. What do we always say? Hack the inflation.
Hack the
no
inflation.
Registration. No insurance.
Yep.
No, I mean, I think it's covered by your regular like HOA policy as a personal item, but that's it. No driver's license needed, and you can throw on a backpack. You can have you can put cargo bags on it.
Yes.
We haven't done it yet, but we're gonna go to Trader Joe's. We're gonna do our little errands on it.
Yeah, like I said, if you live in a busy place like San Francisco or a city where parking is tight, and if you could just run your errands on your e-bike or just get out for the exercise. again, you're going to save hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year.
Yeah. So if you're interested, you guys check out the QR code on the screen. And you can also get some vitamin D.
I was about to say that. You stole the words from my mouth. I'll say, hey, get outside, get some vitamin D. Now you have no excuses to get under the sun and ride.
I know, seriously. So, be prepared to get tired of us on our e-bikes, because if we can bike to it, we're going to do it. To get coffee, to do a quick errand, to get my nails done, we're going to bike. We're not going to get in the car and waste gas and do all of that when we don't need to. Only if we need to use the car, we use the car. That's why we only have one. We only have one car.
Yeah. I haven't thought about, like, if we do end up joining the new gym that we talked about, we could e-bike to it. There's no reason to get in the car.
No, that's true.
That's cardiovascular, that's exercise and vitamin D.
Yeah, because even though it's an e-bike, you can choose your pedal assist on it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, and you can like throttle, you can turn it down and turn it up, how much it assists you. So it's not like, oh, it's lazy. It's not. You're still working.
You still got to work.
You're still working, and you can change that. Maybe after a workout, if we go do legs, we're going to be dead. I'm going to turn that all the way up.
Yeah, exactly. Get some assistance.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into vitamin D. So what does vitamin D do? One of the big things it does, especially important for women in midlife, is it helps with calcium absorption. So a lot of times people can think like, oh, I'm taking calcium, or I'm doing all of these things, I'm taking my supplements. But a lot of times people take things and it doesn't actually do what they think it's going to do, because maybe they have, if you take calcium with a vitamin D deficiency, you're not even going to use that calcium. It's not going to help your bones. And women need help with their bones, because bone loss is a common midlife occurrence, and osteoporosis is something that we need to prevent.
Got to. And again, I can't stress it enough. Also with, lifting weights, it makes your bones stronger.
Yeah. But
you definitely need vitamin D. You need that calcium absorption.
Yeah. So did you ever think about like why whole milk is, it's a source of calcium.
Yes.
You notice whole milk is often vitamin D homogenized.
Yes.
Because they know that you need the vitamin D in order for the calcium to be absorbed. So that's why it's an important thing. But nobody drinks whole vitamin D homogenized milk anymore, I don't think.
No, rarely. It's more like non-fat, low-fat. Because
of the trends, you start to fix one thing. Oh, I'm going to go for almond milk or this or that. And then you don't realize then it's creating deficiencies elsewhere. So you always kind of have to be aware.
And whole milk kind of gets demonized among the older population. You can still drink whole milk. You don't have to, but you still can have a whole milk, and it's not going to, yes, it's more calories, but it's not going to do like, you're not going to get exorbitant amounts of pounds from drinking whole milk unless you're down in the whole gallon.
No, if you're controlling calories, it's perfectly fine. Just like whole dairy, whole fat cheese, and all of that has benefits. You're going to get a lot of protein. You're going to get, all of the nutrients from that. It's not always best to drink something in its most stripped down form, because you're going to lose some nutrients. But vitamin D also regulates over 200 genes in hormone balance, immune function, and mood.
That I didn't know. I know for sure it helps with the mood.
Yeah, well, it's linked to lower risk of depression, autoimmune disease, and metabolic disorders.
I mean, one of the best things that I did when I was going through my mental health crisis, get out and get sun every day to brighten my mood up.
Wow. How many U.S. adults do you think are deficient in vitamin D?
Deficient in vitamin D? I'm going to throw a number out there, 60%?
42%.
Okay.
And this is an interesting thing that I did not realize. African Americans, it's 80%.
How much?
80%. Because the melanin, they have higher melanin concentration in their skin, and it reduces the ability for vitamin D to penetrate and synthesize. So just getting outside and stuff oftentimes is not sufficient.
What's the supplement that you do? You stock it with vitamin D plus K?
D3, because it's a specific form of D3, and then with K2. I think I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But so the risk is higher in midlife due to less efficient skin synthesis plus lifestyle changes. So again, here we go. We overcompensate, right? We're like, oh, sunscreen, cover up. So someone might think, well, I get outside, I walk every day, but they got a big ass hat on. They're lathered with sunscreen. They got rash guard on. So guess what? You're not getting vitamin D. In everything in life has a balance. You know,
It does.
I feel like we always overcorrect as a society.
Too much.
We overcorrect.
Now, is it bad that I never use sunscreen? Like ever?
Some might say no, it's not bad. But some might say the chemicals plus your body's able to better penetrate the skin. And there's a lot of controversy actually with sunscreen too. There's a lot of controversy that it's actually the problem.
I always felt that in a weird way. Like even when I used to get it sprayed on and all that, I didn't like the chemicals in my body.
Here's the thing also.
And I didn't know if it was dangerous or not. I just kind of assumed it was safe. But now a lot of more studies are coming out. I'm kind of glad I never overdid it with that stuff.
But here's the thing. I feel like things like that give people a false sense of security.
Yes.
So it is actually better to balance out your sun exposure so that you don't get sunburned, right? Rather than lather up the sunscreen and just bake out day because you feel like this false sense of security. Well, I've got sunscreen on. I'm good. And so you don't balance out like, oh, you know, like when we go to the pool, we do a little bit of sunshine and time for the umbrella. A little bit more sunshine, time for the umbrella. So it's kind of like balancing that out so you never get cooked and burned. You know, I'm not an expert on skin. I don't know. But the jury is out on sunscreen on whether or not it causes more harm than good. And people lather their babies in tons of sunscreen, has all these chemicals on it. And there's kind of like, there's a lot of controversy.
I almost feel like asking ChatGPT, what's that industry like? Like how much is that billions of dollars is it worth?
Okay, but on a funny note, there's this lady.
Oh.
There's this lady in our community.
You guys.
She lathers her face with sunscreen so thick she looks like Michael Myers.
Yes, it's all white on her face.
And she puts a big, huge brim hat on, and she just walks up and down the pool. And that's a perfect example of a midlife woman who's probably like, I get out every day. Well, you're not getting vitamin D. What are you doing?
It looks weird.
It looks weird.
I thought I was tripped when I first saw her, and I said, babe, look at this lady.
She's out there all the time,
And
too.
I wonder what the kids think.
So also lifestyle changes as we get older contribute to vitamin D deficiency. We stay indoors more. We're not as outdoorsy. You know, I think about like my mom. For one, it was a cultural thing. Okay. It's a cultural thing. And you know, I'm speaking just in the Portuguese culture. People were considered like, if you had darker skin, it means you're like you're lower class or something like that. It's like a weird like cultural thing because it means you work out in the sun,
in the fields.
You're blue collar,
yep,
right, and you're an island. So from my family, they're from the islands, right? So they were considered. If you're from the islander, you're an islander. They look down upon you somewhat if you had dark skin and you're in the islands versus the mainland, the fair skin. So people from the islands were sensitive to that stereotype. So they wanted to keep their skin looking as light as possible. So with their kids, they were careful, like, don't get too tan, sunscreen. And they did it themselves. They covered up their skin. And my mom did that. So I'm thinking my mom must have been, and she didn't care for her health. I don't know if she never got blood work or paid attention to vitamin D. I guarantee you she didn't get a lot of sunlight. So that woman was incredibly vitamin D deficient. And they didn't go outside because she didn't want to get sun. So where's she getting her vitamin D? Didn't take supplements. Her diet wasn't good. So, you know, you're much more susceptible to disease, to depression, to all kinds of things.
Yeah, that's true. You got to, either if you're not going to get outside and get it from the sun, you better be supplementing with it. Or you better be down in gallons of whole milk.
But not even the sun, because melanin reduces skin's ability to produce vitamin D. Like for you, you should probably look into whether or not you should supplement. Maybe when you have your consult with Transcend coming up, ask them if they checked your vitamin D. I didn't see it because you're pretty, like, you have a lot of melanin in your skin. You're pretty dark.
Yeah.
So sun exposure might not be sufficient for you. And I know you don't supplement with vitamin D. I do.
I don't. Might have to add that to the mix.
Because age reduces your vitamin D making natural ability to make vitamin D by up to 50%. So midlife, it's going to automatically drop. So maybe if you haven't had an issue your whole life, but maybe you might as you get older. Obviously, time of the year.
You said it has something to do with energy as well?
Vitamin D?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might supplement with it. I'm gonna see what it does because I start feeling different. I'm more energy. I was like, oh, maybe I was deficient.
Could be. Mood also is big, like I said. Time of the year also, sometimes the sun is weaker than others. So when the sun is weaker, the vitamin D synthesis won't be able to trigger that vitamin D synthesis. So it's not just about getting in the sun. So even in sunny states like California and Florida, people test deficient. And a lot of times you more so test deficient in the sunny states because people are avoiding the sun. When they're in the sunny states, they avoid it. It's too hot.
Yes.
They're more consistent with sunscreen use and things like that. Whereas people that are not in sunny states, the minute that they have sunshine, they're so grateful for it. They're outside. They're basking in it. So it's ironic, but sometimes the sunny state deficiencies are actually higher.
You know what culture's like that? The UK.
Oh, because it's doom and gloom over there.
So when they get sunshine, they're out in the pubs, they're outside. It's like a celebration for them.
Okay, so now let's talk about supplementation. Like, how much do you need? So they're saying 600 to 800 IU a day for adults, but many experts actually recommend 1,000 to 2,000 IU for maintenance, especially in midlife. So if you are in midlife, bump that up, 1,000 to 2,000 IU. And you could load up on vitamin D. You're not going to overdose on it. So you can you could almost front load. So like say you know that there's going to be a month of rain or whatever, like load up, like take more for, a few days to load up if you have, you're not going to have any sun exposure for a week. Maybe you're going to a rainy climate or something like that.
Smart. It's a good idea.
Yeah. And if you're deficient, really load up because it takes a while for your body to like wipe out that deficiency. You're not suddenly just going to start taking 1,000 IU and be good. A doctor will actually prescribe oftentimes like a therapeutic dose, like 5,000, even 10,000 IU, up to 50,000 IU.
Damn.
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
Just like to get you back to normal levels. So if you're deficient, you're going to have to load up. Obviously this is not medical advice, so consult your doctors. But oftentimes if you test deficient, you're not just going to, start a supplementation. You are going to need to load up, like even as much as 50,000 IU for a period of up to 6 to 8 weeks to get you on track, to get you back on point. Then you have to kind of maintain that with consistent sun exposure. I would recommend, I think vitamin D is just it's an essential supplement in midlife just because of all of the factors, especially for women. Lower estrogen levels also lower our ability to synthesize vitamin D as well. Crazy.
So much to think about.
I know. So, I like getting specific because I feel like so many times people say like, supplement of vitamin D, get sun. But what does that really tell you?
They don't really explain why.
No. So someone's like, okay, I'm just going to go and take 100 IU. That's not going to do anything.
No.
So
true.
So why vitamin D3K2? Because that's what I take, vitamin D3K2. And I just took it because I heard that it's better, but I didn't really know why.
I have too. I've heard the same
so
thing.
I'm like, no, let's learn together. That's the whole point of this.
Yes.
So vitamin D3 boosts calcium absorption. So there's different forms of vitamin D. Vitamin D3 is the best for calcium absorption, which in midlife is essential. Again, we're talking about protecting your bones as well. Vitamin K2 helps direct calcium into the bones and away from the arteries because too much calcium that's in the arteries and not in the bones leads to calcification in your arteries. What does that do? Increase your chance of heart attack, stroke,
yes,
heart disease. So again, too much of a good thing or something that someone might say, I need to protect my bones. I'm going to load up on calcium. But you might load up on calcium and it's going to go into your arteries.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that.
So if you're vitamin D deficient, but loading up on calcium could be a problem. So you can try to be proactive and do something good for yourself, but be causing problems at the same time, which sucks, honestly.
That actually got me thinking that might be good for me because like you said, pulling the calcium out of the arteries. So how do I know?
Yeah.
I don't.
Exactly.
And I have high blood pressure.
So D3 raises calcium level, but K2 tells the calcium where to go. So I would say that those two are like a match made in heaven. That is why many high quality vitamin D supplements have both. So look for something with both. You need both. You don't want to be taking. A lot of people will take separate calcium supplements because they've been directed by their doctor. But you need to make sure you're not vitamin D deficient if you're doing that, or you don't want that calcium to end up in your arteries. So let's talk about food sources, because not everything is a supplement. You can get a lot of things from a good diet as well. So supplements that have good sources of vitamin D, but you guys, vitamin D is one of those things you're not going to get enough from food. So a supplement is essential, but you're also going to get it in fatty fish, egg yolks. Problem for me because I don't eat egg yolks.
I do.
Fortified dairy, vitamin D, homogenized milk, mushrooms. I didn't know mushrooms were high in vitamin D.
Me neither.
Interesting.
Something new you learn every day.
But you'd need unrealistic amounts. So like 4 ounces of salmon gives you 400 IU. That's still not enough. Supplementation is necessary for vitamin D. That's one thing I'm saying. I'd say if you're in midlife, you should be supplementing with vitamin D. What do you think? Did this knowledge that we talked about give you enough information to maybe think, maybe you should do so?
For sure. Always. I'm always thinking like, what can I add? Without overdoing it. I'm not one of those people who want to add everything, but if that's going to help me, because I don't know if I'm deficient. I don't know. I'm going to find out when I talk to Len and go over my blood work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't know.
I assume I am not because I do get a lot of sun. I'm very tan.
You know what's interesting, though, is I heard someone speak. I think it was Sal.
There goes I heard again.
No, I think it was Sal was talking about his dad.
Oh.
And he said his dad worked in the fields, and he's always been in outdoors. So he's like, I don't need vitamin D. He was vitamin D deficient.
Wow.
Also, some people their body just is not as efficient in synthesizing vitamin D. So maybe where 1,000 IUs would be more than enough for one person, another person might need 10,000 IUs to actually get to optimal levels. And another thing I want to point out before we close out is optimal is not the same as normal range. Always strive for optimization when it comes to these types of levels. What's optimal? Because a normal range is like huge range, and a lot of times doctors don't call attention to it if it didn't fall off the charts in one direction or the other. But maybe it's still not optimal. Maybe you still have room for improvement there. And it's going to make you feel good. It is definitely going to make you feel better. It is a direct impact to how you feel. So why not,
Man, you sold me on this. And I'm here doing the podcast with you.
Well, that's a good sign.
I know. I'm gonna add it to my repertoire. I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Because why not? I might feel better. I'm going to pay attention to how I feel. Maybe I'll have more energy. Maybe my mood is better. I don't know.
I'm
going to pay attention now.
Yeah. Vitamin D isn't just about bone health. It's one of the most important foundations for thriving in midlife. Even if you're outdoors, often you may still be deficient. So the key is knowing your levels, supplementing smartly, ideally with D3 paired with K2 for better absorption and safety. I'm going to link one that I've been using down in the description. So make sure you guys check that out. Is a combo. And it's drops. I don't know. I like the liposomal delivery of supplementation. A lot of times I feel like it's less likely to be broken down by my digestive enzymes and all of that. So
do you think there's no, they couldn't do it in peptide form, could they? Liquid?
Yeah, they do.
They do?
I think they do vitamin D infusions.
Oh, I've heard of infusions. Yeah, you're right.
So then they must have it in maybe a liquid form. I don't know.
I'm going to ask.
Yeah, you'll have to check.
I might do that.
That's the beauty of being with Transcend.
Yes, that is the beauty.
Because you can discuss those kind of things with them and find out if they have like a real, and then they might be, give more knowledge on what's optimal and where you're at.
And be even more efficient than the pill form.
All right, you guys. So next week, we're going to tackle protein timing. Does it really matter when you eat your protein, or is it just a fitness myth? It's going to be a good one, so we'll see you there.
Bro science.